Hello everyone, welcome to Amy's Bookshelf. Welcome to my December wrap-up, which is literally all Agatha Christie except one. Can't believe I read that much Agatha Christie, but let's get into it. The first thing on my stack was a play. This one was Go Back for Murder, which was the play based on Five Little Pigs. I gave the play, I think, 3 stars. Yeah, 3 stars. I didn't love some of the adaptations that Agatha Christie had made to the original source material, but I'm not going to argue with her. She's the author. This is a play where it's about this woman named Carla who's going to try to find who actually killed her father because she doesn't believe her mother did it. So she's visiting all these people who were there, the 5 other possible suspects, and she investigates with the help of a lawyer. So this is one of the Poirot books that Poirot was written out of. It's a good play. I enjoyed it, but it's definitely not as great as Five Little Pigs in my personal opinion. However, it was read, which is a fantastic thing. I also went on a journey with Agatha Christie's short stories. I read the Labors of Hercules. I rated each story individually, and I think this collection gets a 3.7 from me if I'm remembering correctly, so it's about a 4. This is a collection about Poirot who's deciding he's done working with cases, but he wants to end with a bang essentially. So he decides to go off of the Labors of Hercules, which are 13, I think there were 13 different things like tasks that Hercules had to do. And he finds 13 cases that matches those tasks quite well. I really enjoyed this. My problem with this was that as I read it, I wasn't sure if I was remembering the ending or if it was just so I could figure it out, because I have read this before. I haven't read it in a long time. So I was in this place of, oh, I think that this happens, and it happened. And I was like, am I just that good? Or do I just remember without realizing it? I'm pretty sure I'm just remembering because I don't think I'm that good, but it was one of those interesting dynamics that I'm still not sure what to make of it. Speaking of Agatha Christie's Five Little Pigs for more, I read Five Little Pigs. I read this with Berna and Beth. Oh, I'm sorry. My mind is blanking. It has been a day. I just got home and it's like 8 o'clock. Anyways, I read Five Little Pigs. This was a reread for me. I loved it more on this third time reading it than I had the 2 previous times. And I am just so glad I read it again. I think this one finally gets a 5 stars from me. It's a really incredible mystery. It's very similar to the play, but Poirot is doing the investigating, where he is getting the basically witness testimony and letters of what happened, their documentation of what the events were in their eyes and how they all compiled together. I really, really enjoyed this reread, and I'm so glad I was able to do it again. The next one was Dead Man's Folly. This one was my last Agatha Christie full-length mystery. I have been working towards this goal for a very long time, so it was very much a sad but very happy moment when I read her last full-length mystery, because I still have some novels to read. Anyways, this one was about Poirot and Ariadne Oliver, who are at this house. Well, Ariadne Oliver's there and something doesn't feel right. She's basically planning a murder mystery, and shock of all shocks, something's not right. So she calls in Poirot, and that murder mystery party ends up becoming an actual murder. I really enjoyed it, although I did feel very confused at points. So I think I gave this one a 3, or maybe I gave it a 4. I think I gave it a 4. I just love Ariadne Oliver and Poirot. That is a dynamic I will read time and time again. Honestly, I cannot resist their matchup. They're just so opposite and so funny together. Anyways, Dead Man's Folly. I enjoyed it. It definitely wasn't a perfect Christie, but that's okay. I don't need perfect Christies all the time. I thoroughly loved it. Not 5 stars worthy, but I enjoyed my final full-length mystery reading experience, and I recommend it if anyone's interested in reading a Christie, although this is not the first Christie I'd recommend. I also read The Mysterious Affair at Styles, which was our group read for the Christie's Missing Readathon. 4 stars. It's a good mystery, but it is not the best mystery. This one follows Hastings as he is visiting some friends, and then a crime happens. Hastings comes across his old friend Poirot, who is a new refugee to this town, and suddenly Poirot has the smarts, and not suddenly, he's always had the smarts, but suddenly he solves the crime and he makes everything understandable. I really enjoy this one, and it's a great first book, debut book of Agatha Christie. I also read Murder on the Orient Express. I just re-listened to a radio drama I have of it, and such a good radio drama. I love it. It's just, this is like a Christmas reread for me, or a winter reread for me, all times of the year. I could read it anytime and I'd be happy. But yeah, Murder on the Orient Express. If you don't know, this is about a train where basically this horrible man gets murdered and no one knows what's going on. There is conflicting information, conflicting testimony, conflicting evidence, and Poirot has to solve it while they're stuck in a snowbank. Just so good. 5 stars every time. These don't count for the one book I read that wasn't Christie, but technically I guess I did read a couple more that weren't Christie. I watched the Hollow Crown first 2 or 3 DVDs. So this is Richard II. So I'm counting that I watched or read Richard II by Shakespeare. Also Henry IV Part 1 and 2. So that's 3 plays. I got the whole 2 series out, like the 2 seasons of the series out from the library. So I still have the other ones to get through, but it's been a few years and I'm just really enjoying the process of going through them again. It's definitely something that is just so good. And I love the acting and the historical context, obviously historical fiction. Just, I love it so much. So I'm excited to get on to Henry V and then into the second series, which is all about those dastardly brothers. The last thing that I read was A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I read this one almost every year and it is just super easy. I think I listened to the one by, I'm gonna forget his name now. I'll put down my description box with everything else I've read. But yeah, I listened to an audiobook of this one this time and I really enjoyed the narrator. This is such a good one. I don't know if it's a full 5 stars for me, but it's a pretty high 4. So I'm going to stick with the 5 stars that I've rated on Goodreads and Storygraph. But yeah, this is a classic, and it is the only Charles Dickens book I think I will ever reread, which is saying something, because if you've been with me this year, you know Dickens is not my thing. But I'm so happy to reread A Christmas Carol every year. And it's just one of those that I always gravitate towards. If you've never read it, check out an audiobook of it. They're fantastic. The one I listened to was really great. And I think that this is a good Christmas read if you've never done it, or a good winter read if you still want to get on the Christmas Carol boat for this season. So these are all the books that I read over the course of December. A lot of Christie, which I'm never going to complain about, but please let me know in the comments what you have read over December, what your reading was like. If you read any Christie, I'd love to know, or what's a go-to Christmas book or December book that you like to reread every year. I'd love to know. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to give this video a thumbs up because you enjoyed it, that would be awesome. Also, if you are new here and you'd like to subscribe, I would also really appreciate that. You can also hit that notification bell if you would like, so you're notified anytime I post a video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
In a house that I don't know,